Welcome to My Online Tips channel. This channel is dedicated for those are serious about setting up a successful business online. We publish quality video content every day. So please subscribe to our channel. Let's see today's video.
Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, and you will learn how to test the speed of your WordPress site. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so there are 2 tools that we like to use that are free. You don't have to invest any money at this stage, and they're called gtmetrix.com. So the first one is gtmetrix.com. All right, so the second one is actually offered by Google. So if you go to thinkwithgoogle.com/feature/test-my-site. Again, that's thinkwithgoogle.com/feature/test-my-site. All right, so this actually tests the mobile site limits, or the mobile speed. So you want to have an idea of how fast it is based on the desktop and the mobile site. All right, so that's why we use both of these sites. So going back to this site, what I did as an example is I went to Google, I found a website that is an e-commerce store. And that's what we're going to use in this test. So obviously in your case, you're going to want to enter your WordPress site here. Okay, so I did a search and I found a website that sells scuba gear. And it's got a huge blog with tons and tons of content, with a lot of reviews, a lot of images, and all of that. Typically, anytime you have a WordPress site that has a lot of images, that in itself will slow you down. So we'll talk later on how to speed things up using those plugins and other ones as well. Now, if you go back to gtmetrix.com and you enter the URL of your website here, and you click on Test Your Site, it'll begin to analyze your website. All right, so we're going to pause this video and let it analyze it, and I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so as we can see here, GTmetrix has given this website a C, which is not horrible, but it could be improved. So if you're at a C or even a B, the goal for you is to try to get at least a few steps better. All right, so if you're a C, try to get to B or A. If you're a B, try to get to A. Or if you're an F, try to get to at least C or B. All right. So if we take a look at GTmetrix and see why they say what we say, you can see that it says page speed. It's got an A on a lot of things, and it's got a B on a few things, but it's got an F on several things. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at the F. All right, so we got to click this here. It says serve scaled images. The following images are resized in HTML or CSS. Served scaled images could save a certain amount. Okay, so what they're saying is the images on the site could actually utilize a image optimization WordPress plugin. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. And if we scroll down, it says enable keep alive. If you click that, the little arrow, it says the host uses Amazon ad system. You should enable keep alive. It serves the following sources. So if you don't know what that means, you can just simply click what this means and it'll tell you what that means. So in terms of practical application, we can definitely see that this site owner has a lot of A's on everything, but they could still optimize their images. All right. So we'll actually cover a lot more detail later. So we're not going to assume that you are the same as this website. All right. So we're going to assume that you might have gotten an F, which is fine. So we're just going through here to help you realize what the tool is saying. So this one says, okay, FFF, add expires headers. So that's actually just a caching thing to deal with cache, which we'll talk about later. It says use a content delivery network. So they're not using a content delivery network such as Cloudflare or Mac CDN and all of that. We'll talk about that in the next video as well. But if we just go through and take a look, you can see this one got a C. It says minified JavaScript and CSS. So a lot of this can actually be done via a caching plugin, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So if we click on waterfall, we can see what is actually loading. So when you go to a specific website, certain elements of that website load first. So what they're showing you is what elements are taking the longest amount of time to load. So if you speed these elements up, you can save a lot of time and speed things up. All right, so let's go to timings, page loads, timings, video, and history. So these are actually premium things and services that you can actually upgrade to use. But for the most part, we just use page speed, Y slowed, and waterfall. All right. Now, oftentimes, the GTmetrix system will say, okay, this is a WordPress site, and we'll give you information on how to speed up a WordPress site. If you click on here, it'll tell you how to optimize a WordPress site. So if we go ahead and do that now, it gives you a step-by-step guide on how to optimize a WordPress site, but we're going to cover a lot of this in the next video. So that's what you could use. And of course, if you go to thinkwithgoogle.com, you can also enter that domain here. Okay, it says your mobile site speed is about 5.5 seconds in the United States on 4G. So 4G is fairly fast. So the rating that Google gives it is slow. And it says monthly trend slowing down. And we scroll down, we can get an idea of more details, such as get custom fixes. It says page speed, avoid an excess DOM size. So you can actually, well, like what we talked about earlier, optimizing images. All right, so for the most part, this is what Google sees. Now, bear in mind that even though we're talking about engagement and how to speed the site up, you want to bear in mind that Google looks at this as well. And because they look at this, they are going to oftentimes base your ranking on your site speed. So the faster your site loads, the better you will get ranking, right? And the more engagement that you get, the higher ranking that you will get as well. All right. So now you know the two tools that you can use for free. Let's move on to the next video and talk about how to speed up your website by utilizing certain plugins.
Thanks for watching this video. If you liked this video, please like, share, and post your valuable comments. Thank you all.